Chapter 32 To Help or Not to Help. You are listening at novelfull.audio. However, the improvement of cultivation this time is a little different from the previous times. The first few times were just small improvements, but this time, it was an improvement across a huge realm. Luochuan naturally couldn't take things lightly. The 5 mortal realms are divided into skin refining, bone refining, organ refining, blood refining, and the final realm of transformation. If you reach Zong refining, you can be called invincible in Qingshi Town. Even in the entire Huaishui County, there are still very few monks who can reach the realm of refining internal organs. So, as long as we can break through the Zong refining this time, my life is initially protected. In the courtyard, on an open space, Luochuan sat cross-legged and pondered silently in his heart. Just after he made all preparations and informed the guy Luoping that he was going to retreat, he stretched out his sin-filled right hand. Looking in front of him, he clicked heavily on the plus sign behind the cultivation base on the golden finger panel. Excuse me, do you want to spend 50 points of energy and blood to improve your cultivation? Yes. No. The window prompted by Goldfinger suddenly appeared in front of him. Seeing this scene, Luochuan stretched out his right hand again and clicked the yes button. He had just pressed the button and he hadn't felt any difference yet. Just, as time goes by, as that mysterious and powerful force appeared in his body again, the situation seems to be a little different from the previous times. After the first few small enhancements, the mysterious power was powerful and gentle, and this time, although this mysterious force is still extremely powerful, however, it vaguely exudes bursts of rage, boiling, destruction and rebirth. In just an instant, Luochuan's face, which should have been a little pale, turned red. The whole body also emitted bursts of astonishing high temperature. Is this the transformation the body has to undergo after breaking through the realm of Zong refining? Luochuan, who sat cross-legged and closed his eyes tightly, couldn't help but smile. This feeling really coexists with pain and pleasure. In the blink of an eye, another day passed. After Tao Ji's group of people left. At this time, the streets of Qingshi Town were finally regaining some of their popularity. A huge number of refugees were once again rushing towards this town that had experienced several bloodbaths. A large number of the original residents of Qingshi Town were walking silently on the streets with numb faces and bloody faces. Just like the walking dead without a soul, it's a bit unbearable to watch. However, there is still some helplessness in this troubled world. I can't even take care of myself, so who has the capital to take care of the people around me? Compared to the ordinary people in Qingshi Town, the situation of the family power in Qingshi Town is better. The small family still has food in reserve. Although most of the gold and silver have been plundered, there is no problem in at least ensuring that they have enough food and clothing. The middle-class families are waving the modest amount of money in their hands. In Qingshi Town, we are looking for new industries that can ensure that the family does not continue to decline. Those few large families are currently consolidating the industries that belong to their own families. As for the Luo family, the Hu family, the Jing family, and the Zhao family, which are known as the 4 major families in Qingshi Town, among these 4 major families, the Zhao and Luo families are still engaged in the mining and sales of bluestone veins. Most of the rest of the time, they were annexing the properties left by the purged family forces. While the Hu family was running the market in their own hands, they were following behind the Zhao Luo family. Together with the Zhao Luo family, they tacitly annexed the ownerless properties in Qingshi Town. The Jing family is slightly different and has been quietly running their own gambling house. I don't know whether it's because I look down on the ownerless properties in Qingshi Town or because the gambling house has been too popular recently and is too profitable. Anyway, there are 4 major families in Qingshi Town. The Jing family has been the calmest in the past few days. Candied haws on a stick, selling candied haws on a stick. Kites are for sale, and there are all kinds of kites. Meat buns, delicious meat buns. Does anyone want delicious meat buns? Qingshi Town is located on both sides of a relatively prosperous street near the Luo family land. A large number of independently run stalls and vendors have been observing carefully for some time. After discovering that there should be no danger in Qingshi Town, just like the bamboo shoots springing up after the rain, they all sprouted up one after another. Except, of course, these street vendors in Qingshi Town. Visible to the naked eye are a large number of extremely popular gambling houses. as well as countless gamblers waving money in an attempt to get rich overnight. "Master, please do a good job and take pity on our mother and daughter. We haven't eaten for 2 days and 2 nights. If we don't have anything to eat, we will really starve to death." Near the Luo family's land, Luochuan was wandering outside. At this time, it suddenly stopped. In front of him appeared a mother and daughter with sallow muscles and shabby clothes. When the skinny mother saw Luochuan's appearance, she rolled and crawled towards Luochuan. It seemed that he wanted to hug Luochuan's legs, in order to obtain a glimmer of hope for their mother and daughter. "What are you doing? Get out of the way quickly. Don't come here, otherwise be careful that the knife in my hand doesn't have eyes." Behind Luochuan, the 2 servants who were following him silently saw someone approaching, and they quickly scolded him in a low voice. At the same time, he also pulled out the 10-forged steel knife from his waist. "I want to use this to scare the pedestrians and refugees around the street. Master, please do a good job and save our mother and daughter." Not far away, the mother was still pleading. Street-oriented pedestrians and homeless people. At this time, he seemed to be attracted by such a farce. "Young master, what should I do? To help or not to help?" Among the 2 servants, one servant saw the mother and daughter who were skinny and pale. A bit of unbearability flashed in his eyes, so, after hesitating for a moment, he asked in a low voice to the young master Luochuan beside him. Luochuan did not immediately answer the servant's inquiry. Instead, he first looked at the increasing number of pedestrians in all directions, as well as the refugees hiding in every corner. With greed in their eyes, Luochuan couldn't help but sigh slightly, shook his head, and whispered, "This matter is not as simple as you think. Things have reached a point where I can no longer help if I want to." Chapter 33 Luochuan, do you want to live? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Obviously, the 2 servants beside Luochuan did not understand what he said. In desperation, Luochuan had no choice but to explain in a low voice. "Have you seen the refugees around us? Do you think if we gave this mother and daughter money, they would be able to leave here alive? Even if you give them food, what do you think? After we leave, how will the hungry refugees treat this mother and daughter? Besides, these troubled times are coming. There are countless things like this. If I can help one, I can help 2. Can I continue to help in the future?" Luochuan's words reached the ears of the 2 servants beside him very clearly. Likewise, it was also clearly transmitted to the ears of the mother and daughter in front of him. "Is it still inevitable to die in the end?" The mother was so skinny and extremely embarrassed. He lowered his head silently, and the last glimmer of hope in his eyes gradually dimmed. "Mother. Let's go." Some immature little girl's voice slowly sounded on this street. Seeing that there was no excitement to see, the pedestrians gradually dispersed. When the refugees saw that the young master from a big family dressed in fine clothes was so cruel, they were so cruel. In desperation, he could only shake his head and leave silently. And just when the mother and daughter were gradually moving away, about to disappear from Luochuan's sight, Luochuan suddenly stopped the 2 people. "Where do you want to go?" He looked at the ordinary middle-aged woman, and then shifted his gaze to the childish girl with a face full of childishness. There is nothing special about that mother, but next to the mother, the childish girl seemed a little different from ordinary people. Luochuan didn't know how to describe the girl. The abstract statement should be that the little girl seemed to have a maturity in her eyes that was different from those of people her age. She also seems to have a special temperament about her. "If you're not going to help, why are you still asking these questions?" The little girl's mother turned her head back in surprise, but the girl seemed to have no intention of talking to Luochuan. "Do you want to live? Now, I can help you." Luochuan looked at the 2 people in front of him calmly and whispered. Think. The mother nodded repeatedly, and then pulled her daughter to Luochuan. The girl seemed a little unhappy, but she turned her head and looked at her mother. In desperation, he could only silently lower his head, which he had almost never lowered to others. After a while, Luochuan brought the mother and daughter back to the Luo family. On the way back to the Luo family land, Luochuan asked the names of the mother and daughter. "The big one is called Lu Xiao, the little one is called Lu Qingshi." Although it is uncommon for girls to take their mother's surname, it is not uncommon. Luochuan also asked about the identities of the 2 people. "It seems to come from a place called Dongyang County outside Huaishui County. the girl's father was originally a member of the court, however, due to various reasons either he was slandered, or he was framed, or he was disliked by the senior officials of the Gale dynasty. Anyway, he was beheaded. After that, he wandered all the way here. Of course, Luochuan did not fully believe the mother and daughter's description of their life experiences. At most, he just treats it as a story, just listen to it casually. In this troubled world, anyone who easily believes what others say is truly a fool. From now on, you two will be the servants of my Luo family. My life is under the control of my Luo family. Is there a problem? After entering the Luo family's land, Luochuan glanced at the mother and daughter following him, and he whispered calmly. Mother Lu Xiao naturally nodded happily to this. As for Lu Qingqing, there was a flash of struggle in his eyes. However, it seemed that she also knew her current situation, so she didn't say any more offensive words. Young master, you are back. Luo family land. At the front entrance, one had a full head of white hair and a slightly stooped figure. The old man's wrinkled face was covered with a kind smile. Seeing Luochuan return, and a mother and daughter following Luochuan, he walked out silently. The old man's name is Luo Dong, and he is the old butler in charge of everything in the Luo family. He has been the steward of the Luo family for 70 or 80 years. Grandpa Dong looking at the old housekeeper with a smile on his face and watching him grow up. How could Luochuan not know what this old man was thinking? These two people were picked up from outside. No need to take care of it, just take care of it. In this case, the old slave knows it well. After talking with the old housekeeper, Luochuan then walked silently in the direction of the Luo family library. The collapse of the Gale dynasty and the advent of real troubled times are not far away, not to mention anything else. Just in Huaishui County, in the past 2 days, he had heard that there were several groups of refugees who could not survive, and with the encouragement of caring people, he immediately chose to rise up and capture the county seat. However, it is conceivable what the result will be. The Gale dynasty collapsed, but even the Gale dynasty, which had faced many threats, could not be overthrown by ordinary people without any backing. If you want to cope with the coming troubled times, you need to add more knowledge in all aspects. Opportunities always come to those who are prepared. Otherwise, it will be a waste of time, silently waiting for troubled times to come. How can our Luo family take advantage of this opportunity and ride on the wind? Library Pavilion, 2nd floor area. Luochuan walked, thinking silently in his heart. Just when he was about to pick up a book called Dragon Slaying Art, and start reading it, a slightly teasing voice sounded in his ears. Hey, isn't this my brother from Sichuan? I heard that you brought back a mother and daughter from outside. I also heard that the little one is the child bride you prepared for yourself. Are these rumors true? Luo and son, Luoyang, holding a book titled Quick Alchemy Method. At this moment, Zheng was walking towards Luochuan silently with a smile on his face. Are you sure these are just rumors and not something you want to ask yourself? Luochuan glanced at Luoyang beside him and directly exposed his lies. This Luoyang reached out and touched the bridge of his nose, feeling slightly embarrassed. Hey, never mind. I'll just ask, forget it, why did you bring that mother and daughter back? Don't tell me that you are kind-hearted and don't want to see outsiders suffer. I know exactly what kind of person you are, your brother. Okay. Luochuan sighed slightly, put down the book in his hand, looked at his eldest brother Luoyang beside him and replied in a low voice, I just think that the one named Lu Qingqing is a little special. Special? Luoyang frowned slightly, with a look of doubt on his face. There is a maturity in her eyes that is different from people of her own age. It also seems to exude a strange aura. Luoyang joked, strange smell. Are you sure the smell you smell is not feminine? Luochuan did not choose to answer Luoyang's words. Since you said so, forget it. However, since you brought that mother and daughter back, then you must remember to deal with those two people well. Don't just leave those two people alone when the time comes. After saying these words, Luoyang turned around and waved to him. After a recent period of research, Luoyang felt that he should have become an introduction to the art of alchemy. Next, it was time for him to devote all his energy to studying elixirs such as aphrodisiac pills. By the way, it's worth mentioning here, it's not that Luoyang has a physical problem that's why he wants to study elixirs like aphrodisiac pills, but because it is often like this type of elixir, the profits are always ridiculously high, to a level that is unimaginable to others. Therefore, this has led to Luoyang always wanting to achieve the ultimate goal of wealth and freedom by refining elixirs, such as aphrodisiac pills. Chapter 34, Breakthrough in Refining the Internal Organs and Extend Life by 20 Years. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What happened with Lu Qingxing was just a sideshow. After Luochuan left the mother and daughter to the old housekeeper Luo Dong, he didn't bother much. The huge Qingshi Town is still operating as it has been for the past 2 days. Most small families have begun to prepare for bankruptcy. The middle-class families are waving their gold and silver and constantly exploring new industries. Large families are consolidating their status in Qingshi Town. As for the 4 major families in Qingshi Town, except for the Jing family, whose business is extremely prosperous and controls all the gambling houses in Qingshi Town, Luo family, Zhao family, and Hu family, these 3 major families are quietly annexing the ownerless industries in Qingshi Town. In the blink of an eye, 3 full days passed. Qingshi Town, the land of the Zhao family. In a slightly dimly lit room, Zhao Wu, the current head of the Zhao family, was sitting quietly on the throne. His face was in shadow, and the expression on his face could not be seen clearly. However, from within this room, you can easily judge the slightly tense and depressing atmosphere. Zhao Wu didn't seem to be in a good mood at this time. How is the development of Black Tiger Village? After a long silence, Zhao Wu, who was sitting quietly on the main seat, broke the silence of the moment and asked in a low voice to a man in black in front of him. Master, after these few days of external expansion, the total number of people in Black Tiger Village has exceeded the 5,000 mark. The number of young and capable men has exceeded 2,000. The development situation can be said to be very good, but what? Zhao Wu frowned slightly. The Black Tiger Village controlled by his second brother Zhao Hong plays a very important part in his future plans. The development of Black Tiger Village must not be hindered. According to the plan, Black Tiger Village will complete the unification of all the mountain villages near Qingshi Town in the near future. However, for some reason, a village called Black Wind Village suddenly appeared near Qingshi Town. The development momentum of this cottage is extremely rapid, even faster than the development speed of Black Tiger Village. Master, I suspect there may be someone behind the Black Wind Village silently supporting him. After such speculation appeared, the atmosphere in the room suddenly became more and more tense. It's messy, getting messier and messier, whether it's the situation inside Qingshi Town or the situation in those cottages outside Qingshi Town, all of this has exceeded Zhao Wu's expectations. That old guy from the Luo family is still alive. Outside Qingshi Town, there is another Black Wind Village who may have support behind him. This world is becoming more and more chaotic. Zhao Wu murmured in a low voice. Then, he sighed slightly. A look of determination could not help but appear on the face that was always calm and unchanging, shrouded in shadow. The matter regarding the Luo family cannot be delayed any longer. In the beginning, the reason why the Zhao family would directly give up the top-quality bluestone vein of more than 300 meters long to the Luo family. The main reason is that there are rumors in Qingshi Town that the old ancestor of the Luo family is approaching his end and will die soon. That's why the Luo family was able to capture that top-grade bluestone vein so easily. In recent days, although the Zhao and Luo families are still respectively responsible for the mining and sales of bluestone veins near Qingshi Town, but what can be clearly felt is that the Luo family relies on the advantage of that top-quality bluestone vein. It has begun to gradually suppress or even occupy part of the market that originally belonged to the Zhao family. If it were only for a short period of time, this situation might not have any impact on the Zhao family, but if time goes by, this situation will become more difficult for the Zhao family. It is definitely something that is enough to make the Zhao family gradually weaken. The development of copycats can be put aside for the time being. But the Luo family's affairs must not be delayed any longer. Zhao Wu whispered while silently watching the man in black in front of him. Now, go to Heifeng village immediately. Let my second brother and Gao Qi come back. I want to discuss with them how to solve the matter of the Luo family in Qingshi Town. Yes, master. The man in black nodded slightly. Then, the mysterious man in black quickly disappeared into this room. Just then Zhao Wu, the head of the Zhao family, was planning how to deal with the Luo family, Qingshi Town, the land of the Luo family. In a courtyard exuding a quaint atmosphere, the silver-haired old man was sitting cross-legged in the open space, his eyes closed tightly, and his whole body exuded bursts of hot aura. At this time, he suddenly exhaled a long breath of turbid air, and slowly opened his eyes. After the bone refining is completed, it will be time to refining the internal organs. Zong refining is all about refining the internal organs. When I reached the perfection of bone refining before, I had imagined how powerful the viscera refining realm would be, but now I have actually reached the viscera refining realm. I seem to have just discovered that my previous imagination seemed a bit too conservative. Luo Changfeng stood up while thinking silently in his heart. He felt the power in his body that was 3 times more powerful than the bone refining perfection. After feeling the extremely surging vitality in the body, he couldn't help but narrowed his eyes slightly and stretched out, enjoying himself. Since then, he has broken through the early stage of refining the internal organs and extended his life by 20 years. He not only solved the problem of insufficient longevity, but also solved all the crises of the Luo family in Qingshi Town. The realm of refining internal organs is in the Gale dynasty, although it is not the most top existence, but if it were just in this Bluestone town, he would already be almost invincible. Even in the entire Huaishui County, he can be regarded as one of the top monks. Of course, there is another unit above the county seat, which is the government. A large prefecture may be as large as more than 10 counties, while a small prefecture may be as small as 3 or 5 counties. For example, the mansion where Huaishui County is located is called Luochuan Mansion. Luochuan Mansion is not very big, with 8 counties under its command. However, after all, these are still a bit far away from the Qingshi Town Luo family and Luo Changfeng. This kind of thing can be left aside for the time being. After his cultivation breakthrough, Luo Changfeng opened his own golden finger panel. Name, Luo Changfeng. Xuanhuan, 20 years plus. Cultivation, early stage of Zong refining plus, 0/1000. Qi and blood, 1550, -0, PS, safe and usable Qi and blood is 155 points. Kung Fu, the best in the world, fierce tiger strength, comprehension, 30% plus, the best in the world, wind shadow step, comprehension, 5% plus, incomplete. Look at the golden finger panel in front of you, look at the total health value that suddenly turned into 1500. Luo Changfeng couldn't help being slightly stunned. Is it possible that this thing is my breakthrough in cultivation, extending my life for 20 years, and that my energy and blood will also increase after I recover? After thinking about it, he couldn't help but confirm this idea in his mind. After all, it seems that there is only such a statement now. There is no situation that can explain why the total energy and blood suddenly increased by 220 points. Let's add these 155 points of energy and blood to the world's best martial art, Liehu Jin. Luo Changfeng thought silently in his heart. Cultivation is very important, but it is also important to improve the understanding of the skills. Even sometimes, the improvement in understanding of the skills will lead to an increase in combat power. It will be much higher than pure cultivation improvement. Chapter 35: The Zhao Family's Plan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The host's will is detected, 140 points of blood are deducted. The proficiency of Liehu Jin is improving. A cold and extremely familiar voice suddenly sounded in Luo Changfeng's mind. 140 points of blood. What's the meaning? Luo Changfeng didn't understand what Goldfinger meant. However, when the qi and blood are deducted, proficiency is improved. After Luo Changfeng opened his own golden finger panel again, he finally understood why the system only deducted 140 points of health value. Name, Luo Changfeng. Xuanhuan, 20 years plus. Cultivation, early stage of Zong refining plus, 0/1000. Qi and blood, 1550, -140, PS, safe and usable Qi and blood is 15 points. Kung Fu, the best in the world, fierce tiger strength, comprehension, 100% plus, the best in the world, wind shadow step, comprehension, 5% plus, incomplete. Look at the golden finger panel in front of you. Luo Changfeng couldn't help but murmur to himself. in other words, this fierce tiger strength only requires 2 points of blood to increase the proficiency by 1%. This ratio is pretty good. If that's the case, then add all the remaining health points to the wind shadow step. The host's will is detected, 15 points of blood value are deducted, wind shadow step proficiency is improving, in his mind, the cold voice sounded again, however, this time is a little different from Liahu Jin. To improve the wind shadow step, you need 3 points of vitality to increase your proficiency by 1%, 15 points of health value, a total increase of 5%. 5% may not seem like a lot, in fact, even this extra 5% comprehension can already provide a certain amount of bonus to Luo Changfeng's movement speed. Let's try this 100% understanding of the fierce tiger power first. Luo Changfeng thought like this, and then silently assumed the most basic tiger form of Liahu Jin. The blood flow speed and rhythm in the body gradually tend to the rhythm of the Liahu Jin technique. After a small week, the blood in Luo Changfeng's body flowed. Behind him, a bloody tiger that was condensed with the power of overflowing qi and blood appeared vaguely, exuding terrifying evil energy from all over its body. Is this Liahu Jin? Luo Changfeng turned his head and glanced at the bloody tiger behind him that was full of terrifying evil energy. He silently felt that the strength in his body had increased by about twice. He nodded with satisfaction and calmed down the blood flow in his body. He dispersed the bloody tiger behind him that was condensed with the power of overflowing energy and blood. If the power at the early stage of Zhang refining is roughly defined as 10,000 giants, the strength in the middle stage of Zhang refining is roughly defined as 20,000 kilograms of strength. Then, after experiencing a double increase in strength, my strength can even reach 30,000 kilograms in a short period of time. This power is already comparable to some monks at the middle stage of Zhang refining. After testing the fierce tiger power with a 100% comprehension level, Luo Changfeng began to experiment with the wind shadow step again, and his comprehension level reached 10%. I don't know if after reaching 100% of the skill, I will get a huge bonus or something. Anyway, this level of understanding has only reached 10% of the wind shadow step. The speed increase it could bring to Luo Changfeng made him feel a little disappointed. However, it is enough for the time being. It is enough to be able to run faster than the average monk in the early stage of Zhang refining. In the blink of an eye, another day passed. In the early morning, when the fog is still a bit heavy and the sky is not completely bright yet, Qingshi Town, the land of the Zhao family, in a slightly dimly lit room, then there were two people who Zhao Wu had been waiting for a long time. Brother, are you sure you want to take action against the Luo family? In our Zhao family, you and I are all in the realm of perfection in bone refining. But Luo Laosan, the third member of the Luo family in Qingshi Town, has also reached the perfection of bone refining. Its strength cannot be underestimated. The elite servants he controls are also a force that needs special attention. It's not an easy task to forcefully chew off this hard bone. In the room, in front of Zhao Wu, the second son of the Zhao family, Zhao Hong, looked very similar to Zhao Wu. After learning that the eldest brother of his family wanted to see him, he immediately arranged everything and rushed towards the direction of the Zhao family's land in Qingshi Town without stopping. Head of the Zhao family, although the situation in Qingshi Town has gone through several bloodbaths, the situation has become much clearer. But it is also because of this that it becomes more difficult for the Zhao family to take action against the Luo family. The Hu family and the Jing family are both the four major families in Qingshi Town. These two families will not just watch the Luo family collapse and then be annexed by the Zhao family. Next to the strong Zhao Hong, Gao Qi looked pale and had a somewhat mediocre appearance. After coughing twice, he whispered, "Yes, brother." Upon hearing this, Zhao Hong nodded silently and added, "Besides, next to my Black Tiger village, there is a Black Wind village watching eagerly. If I mobilize the power in Black Tiger village, then Black Wind village will definitely not sit idly by." In the room, Zhao Wu and Zhao Hong looked at each other. It seems that no one can convince anyone. Just when the two of them were at a stalemate with each other, Gao Qi stood silently aside. At this time, a voice suddenly came out. "If the head of the Zhao family must deal with the Qingshi Zhenlua family, it is not that there is no way. What can we do?" Zhao Wu and Zhao Hong both looked in the direction of Gao Qi. Gao Qi, after pondering for a moment, replied in a low voice, "The rise of Black Wind Village was something that no one expected. Behind Black Wind Village, there must be someone silently supporting us. Although, the Black Tiger Village we established in a short period of time can still compete with the Black Wind Village. But as time goes by, the strength of Black Wind Village is inevitable. So, a decision needs to be made at this time. Is it to develop the power of Black Tiger Village outside Qingshi Town and completely suppress the Black Wind Village, or is it mobilize all the forces in Black Tiger Village to Qingshi Town? Kill the Luo family of Qingshi Town completely to death, and then lock all the officials in Qingshi Town at home. Completely control the entire Qingshi Town, and use Qingshi Town as the base to gradually expand its influence outwards." Gao Qi's voice, although not very loud, but his words were like thunder, roaring in everyone's ears. Use Qingshi Town as the base and gradually expand your influence outwards. Zhao Wu, who was sitting quietly on the main seat, kept repeating these words. His eyes gradually became brighter and brighter. "If we do as you say, mobilize all the forces in Black Tiger Village into Qingshi Town, what are the chances of our Zhao family winning in this matter?" "About 90%. Gao Qi said with a confident expression, based on his understanding of the major families in Qingshi Town. Except for 2 people from the Zhao family, there are only 2 people in the realm of bone refining perfection. The other 3 families among the 4 major families each have only 1 person. At this time, the Zhao family decided to transfer all the forces in Black Tiger Village into Qingshi Town. Destroy the Luo family and kill the chickens to scare the monkeys, devour all the wealth of the Luo family. Then all the officials in Qingshi Town were locked up in their homes. Outside of Qingshi Town, those huge bluestone veins have rebuilt a high and thick city wall for Qingshi Town. In this way, it will happen." Chapter 36 Zhao Hong is in action. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After discussing everything in detail with my brother Zhao Wu, Zhao Hong, who controlled Black Tiger Village, immediately left this bluestone town. He rushed back towards the direction of Black Tiger Village outside Qingshi Town. The next day, early in the morning, when the sky is not completely bright yet, there was still a thick layer of fog in the sky. On a hilltop outside Qingshi Town, there is a fairly large cottage. Zhao Hong, the second eldest son of the Zhao family, was sitting quietly on a wooden armchair. Next to him was a sharp blade that seemed to have been forged countless times and was a grade higher than 100 forged steel sword. Next to him, a frail scholar with a pale face and average appearance sat quietly. "Gao Qi, I don't know why, but I always feel uneasy in my heart. I know all about brother's plans. I also know the aspirations in my brother's heart and his ambitions. If we can really proceed according to the best route, based on Qingshi Town, we will gradually expand our power in all directions. This is naturally the best. But what if?" As he said this, Zhao Hong couldn't help but hesitate. "What if we fail?" Zhao Hong turned his head silently, looking at Gao Qi beside him with a slightly worried look on his face and whispered. Gao Qi did not answer this question immediately. He just silently picked up a cup of hot tea placed next to him. "Put the hot tea in your hand to your mouth and take a sip. Let the slightly hot tea pass through your throat and enter your belly." He slowly exhaled, turned his head, and calmly said to Zhao Hong beside him, "Brother Zhao, we will not fail. As long as we are in Black Tiger Village, more than 2,000 young men with sharp blades can pour into Qingshi Town. As long as we can completely lock down Qingshi Town in the shortest possible time. Seal all the officials in Qingshi Town at home. In this case, we have 1/2 the battle. The other half belongs to the Luo family, one of the 4 major families in Qingshi Town. The Luo family and the Zhao family have a feud. The other half of the bluestone veins outside Qingshi Town are in the hands of the Luo family. As long as we can destroy the Luo family, kill the chickens to scare the monkeys, and control all the bluestone veins in the Luo family's hands, this will be done." Gao Qi's voice was not very loud, and even sounded a little weak, but just such words can always bring endless courage and courage to Zhao Hong's heart. "In that case, let's act according to the plan. I will mobilize all the young men in our Black Tiger Village. Gao Qi, please wait here for a moment. After speaking, the second eldest son of the Zhao family, Zhao Hong, possesses the perfect realm of bone refining. Then he straightened his body and walked out of the room, as Zhao Hong gradually moved away, until all figures disappeared from Gao Qi's eyes. On Gao Qi's calm face, a look of thinking and a hint of worry gradually appeared. Can this really happen? Gao Qi did not dare to guarantee 100%, he can only say that the success rate of this matter is about 90% or even more than 90%. Mobilize the young men in Black Tiger Village to enter Qingshi Town. This matter is not difficult. He wants to lock all the officials in Qingshi Town in their homes. This matter is not difficult. The only thing that made Gao Qi feel uncertain was the Luo family. One of the four major families in Qingshi Town, the ancestor of the Luo family named Luo Changfeng, is really a bit weird. Just yesterday, when he was in the Zhao family land, he even met Wang Kuan, a doctor in the Zhao family land, in person. He asked Wang Kuan why he made such a judgment. Why do you say that the ancestor of the Luo family will definitely die within half a month as his death is approaching? The answer given by physician Wang Kuan is extremely positive. Wang Kuan said that he has been practicing medicine for decades and has seen not only tens of thousands of people, but close to 10,000. The end is approaching and half of the body is buried in the earth. It's not like Wang Kuan has never seen it before. Therefore, the reason why Wang Kuan made such a judgment was based on his decades of experience in practicing medicine. In this case, then the problem arises, why is that ancestor from the Luo family still not dead today? Did he break through to the state of refining internal organs and extend his life by 20 years? Or, what kind of miraculous medicine did the ancestors of the Luo family take that could extend their lifespan? Or is it that all the appearances that the Luo family ancestor is approaching his end are all disguised? Regarding these three possibilities, Gao Qi did not dare to make a decision easily. However, the only thing he was sure of was this: among the three possibilities, the first possibility should be the lowest one. If judged by percentage probability, the percentage of the first possibility will not exceed 1%. Although it is said that above the perfection of bone refining is organ refining, but in fact, the realm of refining the internal organs is not that easy to break through. In addition, as people age, qi and blood will gradually dry up, cultivation will also gradually decline as time goes by. Under such circumstances, how could the ancestor of the Luo family forcefully break through the zong refining realm with his decrepit body? The second in charge. Just as Gao Qi was frowning, he was thinking about the answer to this question. The young man from Black Tiger Village suddenly trotted into this room. He lowered his head slightly and whispered to Gao Qi in front of him, "Second master, the first master said that everything is ready, and I will wait for you next." "Are you all ready?" Gao Qi silently raised his head and glanced at the young man in front of him. He stood up and stretched his body. Then, he walked out of this room directly. Black Tiger Village is located in a deep mountain not far from Qingshi Town. The degree of concealment is extremely high, and the location is chosen particularly well. It seems to be to enable subsequent development. A lot of farmland has been reclaimed near the Black Tiger Village. Just wait until the next spring to sow food directly. In this way, not only can he support himself, but he can also produce a lot of food to continue to expand the strength of the village. However, it is a pity, it seems that these reclaimed farmlands are no longer used. Black Tiger Village is a place where more than 2,000 young people holding brand new steel swords gather. That is Zhao Hong, the current leader of Black Tiger Village. He was standing silently on a somewhat crude high platform. More than 2,000 young men, it doesn't seem like a lot. But now, after seeing it with my own eyes, I found that more than 2,000 people seem to be quite a lot. On the high platform, Zhao Hong, who was wearing dark red iron armor, silently stared at the more than 2,000 young men in front of him, who were either wearing leather armor, wooden armor, or iron armor. He couldn't help but murmur to himself with some emotion, "Gao Qi." Suddenly, Zhao Hong turned his head and whispered to Gao Qi beside him with a very serious expression, "There are not many people I trust. My brother Zhao Wu is one, and so are you. So, I want to ask you one last time before setting off. Can our Zhao family really succeed this time?" Zhao Hong's voice gradually floated in the wind. His gaze was so hot that even Gao Qi felt a little uncomfortable. Deceive Zhao Hong again to make him feel at ease. Gao Qi suddenly realized that he was already somewhat unable to do such a thing. In desperation, he could only tell the truth. On this continent, nothing is guaranteed to happen. So what we are doing, I think there is about a 90% chance that it will work. 90%? Zhao Hong nodded silently after hearing this. Since Gao Qi said it, there is a 90% chance that this will happen, then let him go and do it. Chapter 38. If you want to destroy it, you must first make it crazy. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Qingshi Town, in the mansion where Mayor Yu Jun is located, in a room filled with precious calligraphy and paintings, a middle-aged man wearing dark red iron armor, with a rather strong build and vaguely exuding evil aura, she was standing silently in front of a beautiful picture of a lady, admiring it with a calm expression, and that person was behind him, with his head slightly lowered and his waist bent. Mayor Yu Jun's face was full of fear and uneasiness. He said nothing, his whole body trembling slightly. The atmosphere in the room seemed to gradually become more and more depressing with the passage of time and the silence. Mayor Yu, there are a lot of good things at home. It wasn't until the two were silent for a long time that Zhao Hong, wearing dark red armor and a sharp blade tied around his waist, appeared. Only then did he break the dead silence of the moment, turned around, and looked at old Yu Jun behind him with a half-smile. Zhao Hong, what do you and your Zhao family want to do? The Gale dynasty hasn't fallen yet. Although Yu Jun felt a little scared and uneasy, at this time, he also knew, you must not be weaker than others, otherwise, next, he will most likely become a puppet in the hands of the Zhao family. This kind of thing is absolutely unacceptable to Yu Jun. Mayor Yu, I respectfully address you as Mayor Yu, but don't be shameless. Zhao Hong's face gradually turned a little cold. One step, and another. He gradually walked towards Mr. Yu Jun in front of him. Zhao Hong, you, what do you want to do? Do you want to take action against the imperial official? Do you want to rebel? Facing the huge pressure brought by Zhao Hong in front of him, Yu Jun finally couldn't bear it anymore and collapsed directly on the ground. The body that was already trembling slightly could not help but tremble even more violently now, and just when Zhao Hong wanted to continue to say something to scare the old Yu Jun in front of him, outside the room, there was suddenly a burst of hasty footsteps. Before he saw the figure, Zhao Hong heard the extremely familiar voice. Second brother, stop scaring our mayor. Outside the room, Zhao Wu, the current head of the Zhao family, was talking as he walked towards Yu Jun in the room, until, Zhao Wu walked to Yu Jun's side. Only then did he help Yu Jun, who was slumped on the ground and trembling violently, up. Mr. Mayor, our Zhao family is here this time because we have something to discuss with you. Zhao Wu helped Yu Jun up, straightened Yu Jun's slightly wrinkled shirt, and whispered calmly. What's going on? Yu Jun glanced cautiously at Zhao Hong beside him, then, he sighed slightly, he straightened his back slightly, he asked in a low voice to the head of the Zhao family next to him, Zhao Wu, since the severe drought in the Gale dynasty for several years, chaos has continued in the Gale dynasty. Countless people have either been displaced and become refugees, or they have occupied the mountains and become kings, and the grassroots have become bandits. Even Qingshi Town, which is located on the side of the Huai River, has a fairly sufficient water source. It's still affected by the troubled times that followed the severe drought for several years. So I thought that since my Zhao family is one of the families in Qingshi Town, I must help a group of mayors manage this huge Qingshi Town. I wonder what the mayor thinks of this matter. Zhao Wu's voice was neither loud nor quiet, neither slow nor urgent. There was even a hint of respect on his face. It can be said that it gave the old guy Yu Jun a lot of face, but the more this happened, the more Yu Jun seemed to be unable to see the current situation clearly. What is your Zhao family? You also want to steal the authority to manage Qingshi Town? Yu Jun silently put his hands behind his back, and his mood gradually returned to calm. On that wrinkled face, a deep arrogance could not help but appear. The Gale dynasty was rotten. It could even be said that it was rotten to the core. Even the entire Qingshi Town has been locked up by the Zhao family. Even the mansion where Yu Jun was staying was already heavily surrounded by people from the Zhao family, let alone escaping now. Even a fly probably wouldn't be able to fly out of this mansion, but even so, old Yu Jun was still able to put on such a posture. Brother, I've said it before, you have to be tough when dealing with people like this. As Zhao Hong spoke, he pulled out the steel knife from his waist that was faintly flashing with cold light. he even placed the steel knife in his hand directly on old Yu Jun's neck. "Are you planning to surrender to my Zhao family, or are you planning to die directly?" Zhao Hong's voice was extremely cold, his look, his gaze, and the steel knife in his hand that shimmered with cold light and sharp edges, everything made Yu Jun's fear and anxiety, which had gradually dissipated, return again. "Surrender or die." Zhao Hong's voice became colder and colder. In Yu Jun's ears, it was like a terrifying song coming from that area, which made him feel a little scared. "Zhao Wu, what do you Zhao family mean by this?" Yu Jun turned his head stiffly and looked at Zhao Wu next to him with a confused expression. "It's just a pity." This time, Zhao Wu did not stop it. Zhao Wu had already given Yu Jun a chance, but he failed to grasp it. "In this case, there is nothing we can do. In these troubled times, the Zhao family can only use tougher methods, between death and surrender." Yu Jun, the current mayor of Qingshi Town, had no choice but to surrender to the Zhao family, become a puppet in the hands of the Zhao family. However, the Gale dynasty has not yet completely fallen. The deterrent power accumulated by the Gale dynasty over the past 1,000 years is still there. Therefore, there is a high probability that the Zhao family will not kill Yu Jun directly. Of course, there is a premise for all this. That means Yu Jun has to obediently cooperate with the Zhao family's actions. Otherwise, even if Yu Jun is the mayor, he was still going to die in the hands of the Zhao family. There are countless families in Qingshi Town. However, top families, there are only Zhao family, Luo family, Jing family, and Hu family. Therefore, Zhao Hong, the second eldest son of the Zhao family, entered Qingshi Town with more than 2,000 armored young men, and after the first time, Qingshi Town was completely locked up. Luo family, Jing family, and Hu family, these three major families also learned the news immediately. Qingshi Town, the land of the Luo family, in a courtyard with a slightly quaint atmosphere. Luochuan, the ancestor of the Luo family, was sitting quietly under a stone pavilion. He was holding a book called Introduction to Alchemy in his hand and was slowly flipping through it, and Luochuan, who was sitting silently next to him, he looked calm and waited quietly without saying a word. "So, you little guy came to me just because of the Zhao family matter." After a long time, Luochuan put the book in his hand aside. He raised his head and looked at the handsome young man Lang Luochuan in front of him. Luochuan asked in a low voice with a calm expression, "Luochuan, ancestor Changfeng, the second eldest son of the Zhao family, Zhao Hong, has entered Qingshi Town with more than 2,000 armored young men. Today's Qingshi Town has been completely sealed off, and no one can enter or exit at will. And this is not the most important thing. The most important thing is the second eldest son of the Zhao family, Zhao Hong, and the current head of the Zhao family, Zhao Wu, went to the mansion where the mayor Yu Jun is." "I doubt." Luochuan said with a slightly worried expression, but before Luochuan could finish speaking, Luochuan interrupted him. "There is no doubt that the Zhao family just wants to control Yu Jun in their own hands and make Yu Jun a puppet in the hands of the Zhao family. Luochuan, ancestor Changfeng, if that's the case, why don't we take action?" But even the little guy Luochuan, who has always been extremely calm, couldn't help it at this time. "Little guy, do you know how big the difference is between organ refining and bone refining? Besides, if you want to destroy it, you must first make it crazy. Today's Zhao family is just like that clown. Let's take a look first to see what else the Zhao family can do." "Luochuan, ancestor Changfeng, you want to see who in this Qingshi Town wants to unite with the Zhao family to kill our Luo family?" Luochuan's words gradually echoed around this stone pavilion. Luochuan just smiled silently and did not choose to answer aloud. Chapter 39 Zhao Wu. Today, the Luo family will be destroyed. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Except for the Luo family, the Jing family was a little surprised by the news, but it's not impossible. The cakes in Qingshi Town and the cakes outside Qingshi Town are so big, therefore, the Zhao family only wants to maintain its orthodox status. It would be impossible to implement the policy of exterminating all the family forces under his command, and in that case, what does the Jing family have to worry about? The Jing family didn't feel much about this news, but the Hu family, together with the Zhao family, Luo family and Jing family, is one of the four major families in Qingshi Town. At this time, they were clapping their hands and applauding. Qingshi Town, the land of the Hu family. In the room where the head of the Hu family is, Huda, the current head of the Hu family, was sitting quietly on a throne. On his face, apart from the smile, there was only happiness. Previously, the Hu family came to see the Luo family for a political marriage between families, and the head of the Luo family, Luo Ping, actually refused directly. Don't give Huda any face at all. At that time, Huda thought that he wanted to witness the rise and collapse of the Luo family building. The Hu family wants to become the fisherman behind the Luo family and the Zhao family. He wants to play a snipe and clam fight, and the fisherman will benefit. But now, although the Hu family can no longer be fishermen, but this did not hinder Huda's excellent mood. Dad, I really didn't expect that it was a good thing that the Luo family rejected the marriage. If the marriage had been successful, it would have caused some trouble for our Hu family now. In the room, the young master of the Hu family, Hu Min, who was standing silently, suddenly spoke up. You're right. Fortunately, the marriage didn't work out. Otherwise. As he spoke, a deep fear appeared on Huda's face. If the marriage really happened, the Hu family and the Luo family were completely tied to each other and became grasshoppers on a rope. The Hu family will definitely be targeted by the Zhao family. Even if the Hu family expelled the Luo family's marriage partner from the Hu family, he also stated that he has absolutely nothing to do with the Luo family. But for the sake of the market in the hands of the Hu family and the extremely huge interests, the Zhao family will definitely take advantage of this perfect opportunity to attack the Hu family. In one fell swoop, the Hu family where he lived was completely pinned to death. Next, the Zhao family will come to power. If Yu Jun understands his situation, he will become a puppet in the hands of the Zhao family. At the beginning, the four major families in Qingshi Town coexisted, and our Hu family was able to keep the property in our hands. I'm afraid it's a little difficult now. As Huda said this, he suddenly raised his head and told his son Hu Min in front of him seriously, when the head of the Zhao family returns to the Zhao family's land later, I will go with you. A trip to the Zhao family. Today's fengshe is like a hot potato to our Hu family. Our Hu family can no longer afford it. Instead of letting people from the Zhao family take the initiative, it would be better for our Hu family to take the initiative and sell the market in our hands to the Zhao family at a low price. Let the Zhao family owe our Hu family a favor. Huda's words echoed in the room. Hu Min seemed to not understand the meaning of his father's words. Dad, why must the market held by our Hu family be handed over to the Zhao family? If our Hu family wants to hand it over to the market, then the gambling house over there with the Jing family. The nature of the market is completely different from that of the gambling house. Huda directly interrupted his son Hu Min. Hu Min, remember, you only need to follow what I said. I don't want this situation to happen. The second time. Hu Min, son, my son has remembered. After the Zhao family settled the matter with the mayor Yu Jun, Zhao Wu, the head of the Zhao family, and Zhao Hong, the second eldest son of the Zhao family, these two monks, who were both in the realm of bone refining in great perfection, brought with them almost 1,500 armored young men. He quickly rushed towards the direction of the Luo family. The streets are high, filled with dust and smoke. The sound of neat footsteps roared continuously like thunder. Today's streets in Qingshi Town seem to be except for this group of people from the Zhao family. All the people have already hid in their homes, or maybe, hiding in a corner. Even some of the more courageous ones only dared to stay far away and silently peeped. Brother, are you sure you want to attack the Luo family now? I heard that Luo Yong, the third son of the Luo family, is stationed near the top-quality bluestone veins. Before we blocked Qingshi Town, we had already led people back to the Luo family's land in Qingshi Town. At the front of the fierce team, Zhao Hong, the second son of the Zhao family, was wearing dark red armor and a sharp blade tied around his waist. Suddenly he turned his head and asked in a low voice to the eldest brother Zhao Wu beside him, the bone-refining realm monks continue to fight and annihilate the Luo family, so there will naturally be no problem, but those who only have a handful of strength and are young and strong in armor. If it was because he didn't get a good rest, he fell to the Luo family, that would definitely be a big loss for the subsequent development of their Zhao family. I know all this. Zhao Wu turned his head silently, looked at Zhao Hong beside him and said in a low voice, however, I am uneasy if the Luo family is not destroyed. The bluestone veins in the hands of the Luo family are important to our Zhao family and the entire bluestone town. This is also an extremely important mineral resource. So, instead of destroying the Luo family on other days, it is better to do it directly today. The Zhao family had no intention of concealing their whereabouts. In fact, even if the Zhao family wants to hide it, in Qingshi Town, which is not that big, it cannot be hidden from the spies of those family forces. Qingshi Town, the land of the Luo family, in the room where the head of the Luo family is, at this time, Luo Ping, the current head of the Luo family, was slightly restless. Beside him, his son Luochuan was extremely calm. While drinking the hot tea in his hand, he waited quietly and leisurely for the arrival of the Zhao family. Big brother. Following the sound of footsteps, it gradually came. Suddenly, a very familiar voice to Luo Ping sounded in the room. That was the voice of Luo Yong, his third brother and seemingly the strongest person in the Luo family. Third brother, how is the situation? Then the Zhao family will really lead more than 1,500 young men in armor and rush towards our Luo family. Luo Ping, who was sitting quietly on the main seat, saw Luo Yong walk into the room. He immediately stood up and asked Luo Yong eagerly with a slightly panicked expression. It's true that there are more than 1,500 young men in armor. It's true that the Zhao family is leading people towards our Luo family. Luo Yong looked at Luo Ping, whose face was full of panic, and then looked at Luochuan, who seemed to be unusually calm next to Luo Ping. He sighed helplessly and whispered, and just when the head of the family, Luo Ping, seemed to want to say something, Luochuan, who was standing aside, stood up directly and walked to his father Luo Ping, directly interrupting what Luo Ping was going to say next. He looked at the third uncle Luo Yong in front of him with a calm expression. Luochuan said in a low voice, "Third uncle, if we use the superficial strength of our Luo family to compete with the Zhao family, how long can it be blocked?" Although Luo Yong was a little stunned by Luochuan's move, however, he still gave a rough answer. With the power our Luo family has on the surface, we can only block it for 3 hours at most. If we mobilize the hidden power within the family, we can block it for up to 5 hours. Luochuan, then what if there is a monk in the Zong refining realm sitting in our Luo family's land? A monk from the Zong refining realm is in charge. Luo Yong couldn't help but frown slightly. He silently stared at the nephew in front of him and asked in a low voice, "What do you mean by this?" Luochuan smiled and said nothing. He just turned his head silently and looked in the direction of his ancestor's courtyard. At this point, everyone present seemed to understand something, understand the true meaning of Luochuan's words just now. Chapter 40. Soldiers surrounded the Luo family, leaving no one behind. You are listening at novelfull.audio. As time flows, Zhao Wu, the head of the Zhao family, and Zhao Hong, the second eldest son of the Zhao family, as well as the more than 1,500 armored young men that the Zhao family brought behind them, they were getting closer to the location of the Luo family. Arrived at Luo family land, about 20 or 30 meters away, as the current head of the Zhao family, Zhao Wu silently looked at the land of the Luo family that had existed for more than 300 years. His expression couldn't help but feel a little emotional. The Zhao family and the Luo family are feuding families. For the Luo family, which also controls the mining and sales channels of bluestone veins, Zhao Wu had wanted to get rid of the Qingshi Zhenluo family countless times, but now it's really come to this point. But for a moment, he hesitated slightly. Zhao Wu didn't want to let the Luo family off because of the so-called benevolence of women, but because of old rivals like the Luo family. Now they are suddenly going to be exterminated by their Zhao family. Zhao Wu would naturally feel a little emotional in his heart. "Brother, it's time to take action." Outside the Luo family, next to Zhao Wu, wearing a dark red armor with a sharp blade tied around his waist, Zhao Hong, who was quite strong, was slightly stunned when he saw his elder brother Zhao Wu, so he gave a reminder. "In that case, then surround the Luo family with troops and leave no one behind." Zhao Wu put his hands behind his back and said expressionlessly to his second brother Zhao Hong beside him. In response, Zhao Hong silently took a few steps forward. He pulled out the sharp blade from his waist that flashed with cold light and sharpness. At the top of his lungs, he shouted at the armored young men behind him, "Surround the Luo family, leaving no one behind." After the order is issued, those more than 1,500 young men wearing armor, they all raised the brand new steel knife in their hands and surrounded the Luo family with water. Waves of evil energy rose into the sky, under the action of the more than 1,500 armored young men. Bursts of murderous intent gradually spread towards the direction of the Luo family. Finally, after everyone in the Zhao family made all the prerequisite preparations, those clansmen located deep in the Luo family's territory, as well as the elite servants the Luo family has cultivated over the years, at this time, he finally appeared in front of everyone in the Zhao family. Zhao Wu, is this the reason for your Zhao family to attack my Luo family? More than 1,500 young men wearing armor. This lineup is really exaggerated. Among the people of the Luo family, Luo Yong, the third eldest son of the Luo family, possesses the perfection of bone refining. At this time, everyone in the Luo family walked out silently. He stared at the head of the Zhao family, Zhao Wu, with a somewhat cold expression. Zhao Wu, there are more than 1,500 young men in armor. This is just one of them. As for the second one. As he spoke, Zhao Wu silently turned his attention to his side, on the second brother Zhao Hong, who was wearing dark red armor and holding a sharp blade. Zhao Hong, the second oldest child in the Zhao family, noticed his brother's gaze. He immediately clenched his fists and raised his head and shouted loudly. Then, a hot and powerful qi and blood suddenly emitted from his whole body. The already bulging muscles on the body couldn't help but become more exaggerated at this time. Complete bone refining. Luo Yong looked in the direction of Zhao Hong, and a look of surprise flashed across his face. If there are only more than 1,500 young men in armor, it may be difficult to destroy your Luo family. But if you add in the second brother Zhao Hong, who has the perfect state of bone refining, it will be easy to destroy your Luo family. Zhao Wu's eyes were half open and half closed, and his hands were silently clasped behind his back, looking at the faces of the Luo family members. Apart from the deep calmness in their eyes, there was only a hint of teasing that was difficult for outsiders to detect. At this time, Zhao Wu had this look and this posture. He seemed to be saying that our Zhao family has more than 1,500 young men in armor and 2 monks who have reached the perfection of bone refining. Qin Luo family, how can you fight with me? However, after Zhao Wu showed all his trump cards, the development of the plot seemed to be somewhat beyond his expectation. He originally thought that after showing the Zhao family's trump card, those in the Luo family should have various expressions of despair, hesitation, confusion, bewilderment, and fear on their faces. But now, on the faces of those in the Luo family, all he could see seemed to be calmness and indifference. Other than that, there are no other mood swings. The situation seems to be getting a little wrong. Just do it. Zhao Wu silently glanced at his second brother Zhao Hong beside him. Then, he quickly approached Luo Yong's direction. He didn't plan to continue talking nonsense with these people from the Luo family. He wanted to annihilate the Qingshi Town family in the shortest possible time, wiping out every single one of them. Sure enough, a family like the Luo family, it shouldn't exist in this world. Destroy the Luo family, leaving no one behind. Zhao Hong received the order from his eldest brother. He gave instructions to the lieutenants behind him, then he directly followed the pace of his eldest brother Zhao Wu. Nowadays, the most threatening person in the Luo family is the third eldest son of the Luo family, Luo Yong, who has perfected bone refining. Whether it's Zhao Wu or Zhao Hong, they always believe that as long as Luo Yong, who has the perfect state of bone refining, dies, the huge Luo family would completely collapse in an instant. As Zhao Hong, Zhao Wu, and the more than 1,500 armored young men brought by the Zhao family began to move, Zhao family, Luo family, the 2 top families in Qingshi Town started fighting each other. Due to the advantage of the geographical location, it was not a big problem for the servants trained by the Luo family to face the more than 1,500 armored young men brought by the Zhao family in a short period of time. Although the 2 brothers, Zhao Hong and Zhao Wu, were both at the bone refining level, they joined forces to attack Luo Yong, who was also at the bone refining level, but neither Zhao Hong nor Zhao Wu were willing to trade with Luo Yong for the ultimate. Therefore, it is almost impossible to solve Luo Yong in a short time. And just when the fight between the Luo family and the Zhao family was getting closer to intense, in the Luo family land, there is a courtyard that looks full of primitive atmosphere from a distance. Luo Changfeng, the ancestor of the Luo family, was sitting quietly under a stone pavilion, silently flipping through the book titled Introduction to Alchemy in his hand. In front of him also sat a young man with an extremely calm expression, Luochuan. Just, as time goes by, as the fight between the two families gradually became more intense, the young Luochuan finally couldn't sit still. Ancestor Changfeng, why don't you take action yet? Luochuan looked at Luo Changfeng in front of him. After hesitating for a moment, he asked in a low voice, the time has not yet come. Luo Changfeng glanced slightly at Luochuan in front of him, and responded calmly. Luochuan lowered his head slightly, pondered for a moment and then asked, Ancestor Changfeng, the reason why you gathered all the old and weak in the family in the central courtyard of the family last night. What you want to do is to use the Zhao family's help to improve the family's overall strength. Luochuan's words slowly echoed around the stone pavilion. Luo Changfeng was silently studying the art of alchemy. At this time, I couldn't help but put down the book in my hand. He raised his head and looked at the descendants of the Luo family in front of him. His eyes couldn't help but narrow slightly, and bursts of light flashed through his slightly narrowed eyes. It's really not a good thing to always have people guess what you are thinking. But what if, this person who guessed what Luo Changfeng was thinking was the new generation of the Luo family to carry the tripod, then things are a little different. If the Luo family wants to grow, I can't do it alone. Although the flowers in the greenhouse are beautiful, they cannot withstand the wind and rain of the outside world. Instead of me solving all the problems by myself, it's better to hone the little guys a little bit while things are still under my control. What do you think of my thoughts? Luochuan lowered his head slightly, and the emotions in his heart returned to the original calm. What Patriarch Changfeng thinks in his heart is naturally the best for our Luo family.